Good morning and welcome to the Jefferson County Commission meeting. Today is Friday, June 23rd. It's 9:30 a.m. The purpose of this meeting is to interview and possibly appoint a new county commissioner. We do have an additional budget submission at the end of the meeting, but first thing we're going to do is interview candidates. The first candidate that we're going to interview is Mr. Keith Lowry, and it's my understanding he's calling in. Are we calling him?
He was going to try calling in.
Okay.
Keith?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
There we go. We can hear you very well, Keith.
Good, thank you.
Well, thank you for applying. You're our first interview. We'll go around the room. We have some questions for you. I'll have a couple, then we'll turn it over to the other commissioners. Currently, what district do you currently reside in?
I believe I live in the Charlestown district.
Okay. And why do you want to be a county commissioner?
I have been involved in politics from one area or another, but I believe that I can bring some vision, maturity, and expertise to the county commission that can help the entire county.
All right, thank you. What is the biggest issues that currently face Jefferson County?
I believe it's the budget that we need to make sure that we have sufficient amount of budget to pay for our police or the sheriff's office. Need to make sure that we have the proper ordinances that keep our government not being intrusive.
Thank you. That's all I have right now.
Okay.
I'm going to turn it over to another commissioner for questions.
Do you have one? I have.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
fine.
Good morning, Mr. Lowry, and this is Jane Tabb.
Good morning.
Can you tell me your understanding of the West Virginia Open Meetings Act?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer specifically because I have never read the West Virginia Open Meetings Act, but my personal philosophy is everything that can be done in the open should be done in the open.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. Keith, this is Jennifer. I was not aware of how much time that this position actually takes when I was elected. And it's, there are a lot of things you can do to help your community in this position. I'm curious to know if you think you have the time to devote to this.
I do, and I have actually informed the board of where I currently work at the ministries that I have applied for it, and they consented. My time is valuable, of course, but once you're organized and get things running, I've been in positions that required much more time and effort than I currently am doing. So I have lots of room on my plate.
Okay, thank you.
Just as Keith, this is Commissioner Jackson, just as a follow-up to that, so your intention would be to remain on the community ministries and possibly serve in this role if you were selected?
That's correct.
Great, thank you. Let's see here. I have a few other questions. I just want to make sure they're not duplicate. What do you see is the most pressing issue in front of the county commission at the moment?
I don't know exactly all of the details of the county commission. I've read some of the minutes, but I'll just repeat what I said to Mr. Stolliver, that I think the most important thing pressing is a good and solid budget, a vision on the commission for the future of the county, and making sure that law enforcement is fully supported. And those are my three big things.
Yeah, I have a question. Keith, this is Commissioner Krause again.
Hello.
Hi. Why do you want to serve as commissioner?
because I have a lot of experience both at the federal government level, and the last couple of years have opened my eyes to the amount of influence that one can have, both in the county and in the state level. And I think I can bring that expertise to the county.
Thank you. I do apologize. I do remember this, of course, was the first question, but I appreciate the answer. I'm sorry for the duplicate.
Anybody have anything else? Anybody? Go once. All right, Keith, that's all the questions we have for you. I do appreciate you dialing in. I know you're traveling today, and we'll be in touch, I'm sure.
Well, thank you very much, all, and be safe. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, our next interviewer is Matt, I believe. Is that right? Matt, yeah.
Yes. That audio was really good. Yeah, very clear.
Yeah, especially.
That's nice.
Yes, you can come on up and have a seat. Yes, sir.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning.
Thanks, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. You want to copy that?
All right. All right, our next interviewer is Matt McKinney. He's here, and we appreciate you coming in today, sir. We'll start off with a couple questions, and then we'll go around the room, and the commissioners will also ask some questions. What district do you currently reside in?
I currently reside in the Middleway District on Leetown Road. I am employed by a family business that's operated within the Charlestown District for the past 20 years. I do also have interest in several properties in the Charlestown District that I pay Class 4 property tax on.
Thank you. Why do you want to be a county commissioner?
I have actually thought a lot about that since I put it in my application. I love this county. I love this community. I have a passion for serving this community. I want this community to be sustainable for future generations, including my children. They can go any route that they choose, but I always want them to know that they have something here. And as far as for the people of the Charlestown District, I want them to know they're getting the representation they're entitled to. I want them to know I'm a listener. I want them to know that they're being heard. I want them to know that they have representation that is being proactive in working for their interest and not just showing up to 2 meetings a month.
What is the current issues that face Jefferson County?
Good question. I think the biggest issue that faces Jefferson County right now is uncertainty. All throughout the nation, there's a lot of economic, political, and cultural turmoil that I believe has had a chilling effect on all governments. It makes people cynical, and to the point that they don't want to participate in their local government at all. They just don't want to have anything to do with the process. I think we have an opportunity and a responsibility to bridge that gap.
That's all I have, the questions I have right now. I'll see if the other commissioners have some questions for you.
Would you like to go?
Oh, yeah. Can you tell me your understanding of the West Virginia Open Meetings Act?
Yes, ma'am. The Open Meetings Act, it establishes the bare minimum requirement of transparency of governing bodies. It goes through what types of meetings there are and how they're noticed. It also touches on some liabilities that officials have and some protections that they have. It also goes through the criteria for executive session, which is for personnel matters, ongoing legal issues, real estate transactions, crime prevention, and there are a couple other minor exceptions, like for doing awards and things like that, but that's pretty much the extent. And that is, as you guys know, that is state code.
That's my only question right now. Might have a follow-up.
I have one. I realized after I was seated in this chair how much time that this actually takes for this position. Do you think that you have the time available to devote to serving properly?
I do, absolutely. I think that's important for a representative. You have to do your homework on these things. You know, it doesn't just run by itself, and you can't just come in and try to read the room and vote. You have to know what you're voting on. I have a business in Jefferson County. I have the time that I can devote for this. And as I stated before, I have a passion for this. So I will do what it takes to have an informed vote.
And you're aware, of course, silly question to ask you, I think you do know, but of all the different departments and agencies in the county?
Yes, I do. I am serving currently on the Board of Zoning Appeals. I did see that Commissioner Ath was on the Board of Health, Region 9, Telmark, and Charlestown Utility Board. If it's this commission's pleasure, I would be happy to take over those assignments as well.
Thank you.
What do you see is the most pressing issue for the county commission right now?
It's kind of twofold. I think one of the biggest things is personnel. The county's been short-staffed on some departments for a while. You know, we had a lag on getting our budget submitted. I still don't think it's posted to the website. That kind of continuity with having people start and continue to work, I think is one of the biggest things. Of course, the ambulance service, you know, that's a big thing that's going on. You know, we've got a lot to listen to on that. I think that you guys have come up with a good plan. I think that sticking to the plan is important. I think that's a big move to make. And I think that to rush it or to not follow through with it, both of those things can be very detrimental, because we're talking about health and safety and public health and safety and welfare. That's one of the most important things this county commission is responsible for. I think those are probably the two biggest things as of right now.
And then I have a couple questions that are just specific from your resume. So you have experience in budgets. What's the largest budget you've ever managed or been responsible for?
The largest budget I've ever been responsible for is about 1.2 million.
And you indicate policy implementation. Can you explain how you do that or what that is?
It really depends on what policy we're talking about. You know, as far as having guidelines of what the expectation is and breaking it down to where my employees have, you know, they have a guideline of how to achieve the goal.
And then last, you do mention employee retention. So what are some of the things you do to maintain your personnel?
Some of the biggest things I do is let them know that they're appreciated. You know, I create a good working environment. It's good for both sides. You know, they feel comfortable coming to work. They enjoy coming to work, and they enjoy coming to work. But we have a job to do, you know, and they handle their end of the deal. My business at Cody Salvage has been around since 2015, or well, since August of 2014. I have 2 employees out of the 4 that I have been there since 2017. I will say that before that, there was a lot of turnaround. I have at McKinney's Auto Repair and Towing, we have 2 employees. I have 1 employee that's been there 8 years, and I have 1 employee that's been there about 15 years. And as I said, we appreciate them, and we just let them know that they're appreciated, and we let them know the standard of what we expect, but I don't micromanage.
Anything else, Mr. Cox?
Thank you. I just have one follow-up question. I think in your opening remarks, you said, you care about this county and you want to make it sustainable for future generations. How do you see doing that?
Well, it's not that I necessarily want to make it sustainable. I want to keep it sustainable. As you know, right now, we have the comprehensive plan update coming up. I did attend the first session. The comprehensive plan that we have in place right now is actually pretty good. I do want Jefferson County to be a good place to live and work. With that being said, that doesn't mean that you take everything that comes along. But there's room for both. I want kids to be able to grow up here and not have the stigma that, well, as soon as I can, I'm getting out of here.
Right, I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay, all right, thank you.
Anything else, sir? No? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, commissioners. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, you could go, you can hang out here, hang in the hall. You already interviewed, so,
I'll be close.
okay. Just for the folks that are watching, we are keeping our applicants or candidates in the hallway as we, so they don't know the answers or the questions, excuse me, and the answers. But thank you, sir. Do we have anybody out there waiting?
We're a little ahead of time.
And we are ahead of schedule, so. Who is our next?
Mike, no.
Okay.
I can go into some of that budget stuff if you want.
Yeah, you want to knock it out? Sure. Good, knock it out.
Alright, so it's our duty to have any of the budget transfers come before the board before we send them to the state to balance our county budget. So I spoke to the state and they're very understanding about all of the turnover that we've had and just kind of working with us to make sure that our numbers are the best that we can get them. So they are allowing us to submit these numbers by the end of the month, and then we'll have one more reconciliation, which we'll be able to do the first or second week of July. We're still waiting for some P-card information to hit the systems. And there is something I wanted to mention about the JCEDA, the Development Authority. Our finance software is in discrepancy with what their accountant has. And I was on their financial call a couple days ago and was able to follow along with his numbers. So according to what I looked at from his spreadsheet from QuickBooks, they should be about 40,000 in the good, but our Unisystem is reporting that they have a small deficit of 8,500. So I'm going to be meeting with them probably next week or the week after, just to kind of compare that and sort that issue out. So you'll see it looks negative on this report, but I don't think that that is the case. So coming down through, and I'll just give a general overview. On average, we usually carry an unencumbered fund balance of about $7 million. Now, granted, there's a couple things that still need to hit the account, but we are a little low on that this year. We're looking at about 3 million in unencumbered fund balance. So that is a little low, but it's not negative. So that's positive given the changes that we've had. And we also did not have to touch account 696, which is the county's financial stability fund. So which is in place in case we do ever hit negative. So we can pull that. And going down through, there were about $237,417.14 funds that needed to be moved around to balance what we currently have. So we did that, and you can see that listed on the Excel sheets that I gave you. So at this time, I would ask if you have any questions, just with the caveat that the state does know that these numbers are going to change slightly after everything hits.
And my question is, what is the color coding reflecting?
Oh, sure. So that's just my chicken scratch really. But I'll explain it.
But that's okay. I just want to know what it means.
So all of the line items that are in that peachy color,
Okay.
those were the departments that were overspent.
Okay.
And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 of those.
Okay.
All of the blue departments
Uh-huh.
are departments that I can pull money from. Those are departments that report straight back to me and they're not elected.
And you're saying they have carryover or, I mean,
They had leftover, most of it's due to staff vacancies.
Okay.
So because we're
that
not,
would be carryover. They have,
Yes.
yes, okay.
so we were able to pull from there. And the yellow is organizations like that I can't touch. So 911, for example, West Virginia State Code says that any 911 revenue can only be used for 911 functions. Yeah, and I would also like to happily report on that note that speaking with Jeff in depth yesterday, our director, 911 was almost 100% fully self-funded this year. So I just want to give him that kudo. And then we have ambulance and animal control. I have that in yellow because it's part of the elected, the sheriffs. And then Parks and Rec, you'll see that it looks like they have an additional $131,813.96. That is actually the ARPA money that was allotted. It just all hasn't been spent yet. And then the ones in white, they're either elected departments or commissions that I didn't want to pull money from.
I just wanted to, yeah. Thank you. That,
Any other questions? So I guess I would just ask for a motion to approve the budget transfers. So that I can-
I'll move a motion to approve the budget transfers.
second,
Any discussion?
my one question. I don't have the special session meeting notice. Is that on the special session meeting notice?
It is, yep.
Okay.
Right after the interviews.
I'm looking at it right
Hi.
now.
I have a question too. So at our next meeting, I guess there's a formal form for doing those transfers, right? That's to be filled out.
I do have the form. I just didn't want to fill it out without approval first.
Just clarity.
Yep, yep. Yeah, I won't be sending in the chicken scratch.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 4-0. All right. Do we have anybody out there yet?
No.
No, okay. We are running ahead of schedule.
I think the next one's scheduled 10:01.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we got a little bit of time.
Okay.
Yeah, I got here at 8. Ran significantly.
I should be playing talk. All right, did you like the picture of my cows? Good to see them again. What? A cream puff. And then one of their daughters, and I think it's Cocoa Puff's daughter is named Buttercup.
Did you just say you had a cat called Coco?
No, I have a cow.
Oh, cow.
I have a friends with cat.
Oh, Cocoa Puffs, that's cute. I have a cat called Garbage, but that's not because she's terrible. She's the sweetest little thing. She looks like the cat from The Office that Dwight was trying to replace Angela's cat with a farm cat. He said, I just named him Garbage because he eats garbage. And then this cat showed up on my porch and I was like, that looks like garbage. But she's the sweetest little thing. I love her.
Usually, rescue cats like that turn out to be very
I
nice.
don't know where she came from. She just started meowing on my porch one evening.
Well, unfortunately, being more out in the country, we get a lot of dump offs.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, so.
I found my cat.
oh. Yeah.
I have, the mother was just, astray on the farm. We had her kittens underneath the tub
I would
right.
say we probably should just mute it until we get.
And she didn't move them when they started it up. They
We're ready. All right. Thank you all, everybody. We're, as I said earlier, we're running slightly ahead of schedule. Our next candidate, applicant, excuse me, to interview is Mr. Mike Mood. We'll start off with a few questions and we'll go around the room. My question is, what district do you currently reside in?
I currently reside in the Middleway District.
Why do you want to be a county commissioner?
Been through the county for quite a few years and have watched how things are operated and the growth in the county. And I think we need to help work to build business growth, to build a tax base in here. We're building a lot of homes. These people don't have a place to work here. They're all leaving town to work. And as they do that, they're taking their tax money down the road. That's what I would like to try to work on, is try to help build some business growth, keep people here.
What is the current issues that face Jefferson County?
For one, we have a massive amount of residential growth that is really weighing heavily on the tax system. We also have the changeover of EMS from from a volunteer to a career system, which again is having a very large tax on our system. And I would like to help in building that system to be as successful as possible, because we've got a lot of growth in here. And with that growth, we're going to have a continued expansion of that. With my experience with the fire service, I'm one of the founding members of Middleway Fire Company. We also created the EMS service there as well. So I have firsthand knowledge on the building of the EMS service and how to make it successful.
My question is that I've asked all the candidates, what is your understanding of the West Virginia Open Meetings Act?
My understanding of the Open Meetings Act is that you should not have more than 2 commissioners together at any point in time, especially discussing anything that's county related. As far as open meetings go, anything that is anything that should be held out in public, with the exception of things like contractual discussions, information from attorneys, as far as legal proceedings and things of that nature.
Thank you.
So I'll say, since I took office, I have really figured out how much time that this position actually takes. Do you think that you have the time to devote to this position properly?
I do. While I do run 2 businesses in town, I have management that runs one of them. The other one, I have service techs that run that. So I'm finding I have more time available to do that. And while I am currently chief with Middleway Fire Company, that takes a lot of time if accepted to this position. Or as many of you know, I've also put in my pre-candidacy paperwork to run for the position for next year. If I were to get elected to that, I will retire my position there to be able to give me more time to do this.
Okay, thank you.
What do you think you can do better, or what needs improving by this governing body or county commission?
I think one of the things we need to do is be more transparent to the public. There's a lot of things that have gone on in here that seem to be very hidden, especially with the changeover of EMS to the county. None of that was really discussed with the volunteer fire companies, very minimal out to the public. And that's a massive change in the way things have operated in this county. And I think the public should be a lot more aware of what's going on.
I've asked this, I think you've kind of already answered it, but what do you think is the most pressing issue for the county commission right now?
I think there are several very pressing issues. And I said, for one is we've got to build business here in town that will keep the residents here. If we're not doing that, we're building all these homes. These people are leaving here, going down the road. My business works in both Virginia and West Virginia. When I'm heading out to Virginia, fuel's cheaper there. We're heading that direction, so we're getting fuel that way. We're spending money in stores that way. If we can build business here that will keep people here, you'll see a whole lot less of that.
Anybody have anything else?
No, I do not.
Commissioner Ted? Thank you. Ms. Reed. Thank you. You have another applicant in the hallway, or come in. Yes, sir, you can bring her on, yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Our fourth applicant that we're interviewing today, for people watching, is Isabel Simon. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We'll have a few questions. I'll have a few questions and we'll turn it over to the other commissioners. They'll have some questions and then I'll go ahead and start. What district do you currently live in, reside in?
The 67th.
I would say more like a magisterial district, right?
Oh, purpose area.
Okay. I should have been maybe more clear. Why do you want to be a county commissioner?
I want to be a county commissioner because I've lived here in Jefferson County for 21 years. I've been involved in various aspects of community within the county. And I think I could bring a different perspective to this governing body with my life experience as well as my experience with work.
What is the current issues that face Jefferson County?
Oh, God, EMS. I think that is the most prevailing issue that we have here in Jefferson County today. We have issues with land and zoning and things that are coming up. But I think that our services and the services that we're providing to our county is an issue, especially since our county's growing. I mean, you just need to walk, drive down the street and our county's growing. So I think that's one of the biggest things that we have facing us.
I have one question. What is your understanding of the West Virginia Open Meetings Act?
My understanding of that is that all government agencies within, well, not just West Virginia, need to have open meetings. We need to be transparent and share with the people, right, what decisions we're making, share agendas and things like that.
So I do have a question. I've been saying to other candidates, and I'll say to you, I was not aware of how much actual time. There are a lot of appointments to different boards, and I'm sure you're aware of all of it. Do you have the time to devote to this position?
I have the time, and I have to be honest with you, before I made the decision to apply, I actually did discuss this with my management team at my job to make sure that there weren't any conflicts of interest. I even went to our ethics committee just to make sure that I'm okay. So I made that decision based on discussing it with my leadership team at work. So
Okay. So they would be flexible with your schedule.
they're flexible today with the schedule. So,
Oh, good.
well, in general, they are.
Thank you.
So what do you think you can do better, or how would you contribute to this governing body for what could we improve on?
Well, like I said, I think that I bring a different perspective to this body just based on my life experience, the work that I've done. I think I bring a voice of reason, hopefully, to this body and bring us together to make the right decisions for the people that work in Jefferson County. I mean, that live in Jefferson County, obviously including myself. So I think I have no political axe to grind. So I think I'm uniquely qualified to do it.
And you've kind of already mentioned this, but I've asked everyone else, so I will ask you the same. What do you see as the most pressing issue right now before the commission?
Our services, the services that we're providing to our community. Again, our community is growing by leaps and bounds. I'm not sure that we have the right infrastructure in Jefferson County to provide the services that the people that live here and the people that are moving in here are going to be expecting. from this governing body. So I think that that's, honestly, I think that's the biggest issue here. For this governing body.
All right. And I'm just going to your resume now. So what is the largest budget? I know you mentioned preparing an annual budget. What's the largest budget?
So I am on the Blue Ridge Acre Civic Association Civic Board. I'm a volunteer. So every year we prepare our budget, and our budget is small. It's about $100,000 a year. We kind of look at every year in October, November, we kind of look at, okay, so what did we do last year? What are we expecting to do, you know, in the coming year? And what are the things that we have to have money for and stuff like that? So 100,000 in my recent history.
So, and then also off of your resume, I'm really impressed with the fact that you are on the West Virginia State Advisory Committee to the United States Commission on Civil Rights, appointed by our governor. What, how is that? Have you engaged in anything? Have you?
So our task is to do a study. So we pick a study. You know, what do we want to do? Do we want to look at how women are impacted in the workforce, right? So we are doing a study on how school discipline is disproportionately more severe for Black and Brown people, students with disability, LGBTQ. So we've actually conducted a national panel. We did a statewide panel with people from West Virginia, and we're actually in the process of putting a study together. And I have to say, I was a little skeptical at first, but I've learned a lot in terms of what's happening to our kids in schools today. So that's our current study that we're doing.
Thanks for sharing. I was just curious to know exactly what that committee was. Any further questions?
Anybody have anything else?
I do not.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
thank you, ma'am.
Well, thank you for having me. Like I said, I think I'm the right person for this job. Y'all think about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nobody? All right. Again, like I said earlier, we are running ahead of schedule. Our fifth and final applicant is not here yet, so we'll wait till he arrives. And we will just mute until the time he arrives. All right, thank you. Good morning. Our fifth and final applicant to interview is Mr. Jack Efsey. Thanks for joining us, sir.
Go Captain.
Our captain, excuse me, Captain Jack Efsey. Captain Jack. Well, I'll have a couple questions. Other commissioners will have some questions, and then we'll have some maybe. So
Already,
well, I'll start off. What district do you currently reside in?
I have properties in Middleway and I have property in Charlestown. I brought the paperwork in Charlestown in case there was any controversy, but I own full outright property in Charlestown District.
Why do you want to be a county commissioner?
I have long been interested in county commission operations. I ran for the office unsuccessfully in 2018. I made the great folly of running against a well-known, competent incumbent. It was folly on my part, but I had to try it. And Jane won fair and square. And I was not involved in any of the allegations against you. Very clearly, I recused myself from many of the allegations. So that's also, I have since I've long been interested in this, let me explain a little bit about myself that isn't in the application or in my resume. Incidentally, my resume is 100% accurate. I didn't fudge anything. I didn't embellish anything. I would be willing to swear in a court of law that is true and accurate. Just for the record. I've watched the operations of the Jefferson County Commission with great care over many, many years. I've gained more and more insight to its operations by serving on two boards, 2 terms. Both of them where I filled a vacancy on the Historic Landmarks Commission and acted as treasurer for 2 terms. Successfully as treasurer, was closely involved with state audits, and they were all passed with flying colors, no discrepancies, and I even got compliments from the state auditor that I kept really, really good records. So that was good for me. And then in addition to that, I've been on the Jefferson County Planning Commission for a number of terms. I served with Steve. That's been very interesting. And the reason that is so good for anybody who's interested in the county is it really gives you a wide scope of what's going on, what the new projects are, and the operations of the people in the county, the different businesses. And most of all, I've had the pleasure of meeting many, many people because of that position that I would not have normally met just as a routine with the people that I deal with on a regular basis. Like, for instance, the Eastern Panhandle Business Association, different things that I've done over the years with the Republicans. So I've gotten to see a lot more about the county and hear different viewpoints and opinions. And it's made me a believer. First of all, I support individual property rights, but I also clearly respect that the county is made up of a lot of agricultural elements that need to be protected, a lot of small businesses that need help. And when we bring a new business into the county, it clearly must be clean and productive for the people in Jefferson County. Specifically, I would like to see more stuff that came in the county that gave jobs to the citizenry here and helped the county directly. And I always have concerns that some of the stuff that we look at may be clean, but it's not really adding anything to the county. And so that's one of my concerns. And I would really like to see what I would call more business friendly and jobs friendly stuff brought into the county. I'm also very interested in providing connectivity and internet, but I think that it also has to be done in a careful way. So those are the main things why I want to run. I'd also like to bring up, since this is my minute to make speech, or maybe 5 minutes to make speech, is I am a freedom loving, liberty minded, constitutional, and fiscal conservative. I don't have a special agenda as I apply for this position. I'll repeat, I do not have a special agenda. I want to serve on this committee, on this commission, and I want to do it for the benefit of all the people of Jefferson County, not specific elements. And we really do have to make sure that the people in the county are covered with fire and ambulance. And we need to do that in a business-like professional manner. As far as the commission is concerned, I am a strong supporter in this commission being run like a business, and that we do things that is professional and make sure that we adhere to all the local and state and national laws. Now, enough of my speech. If you have any questions, fire away.
What is the current issues that face Jefferson County? I know you touched on a little bit on your opening.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the ESA support. Fire and ambulance fees is a big issue. As you know, Steve, we've been going through the comprehensive plan and updating that, and we've been getting a lot of input from around the county. There's a lot of people that are concerned about the solar farms, and I think they each need to be looked at individually. A blanket yes or a blanket no isn't a good thing. So ESA, emergency services, is a big thing as far as I'm concerned. I really think that we ought to be doing more. We're doing a lot, but we need to do more on connectivity. And we need to do it in a non-obtrusive way that supports the county and what the county is about. So that's very important. I think those are two big issues. I think the one that needs to be taken care of first and foremost is the ESA issue. Connectivity is important, but I think ESA is the most important because our residents deserve ambulance and firefighter coverage. So that's very, very important to me. The other interest that I have, and this is a little bit on my business side, is every year I try to stay in contact and watch you all do your darndest to balance the budget, what the monies that you have against the needs of the community. And I think one of the ways to help improve that situation is to improve the revenue. We have more money that comes through housing, good businesses, et cetera. We can help supply what the people of the county need. And I'm not in favor of, eliminating any departments or any of the people that come and request money. I think everybody, at least I'm aware of all the people that have applied, seem to be worthy. The question is, can we supply everything to everybody that they want? And the best way to help rectify that is to increase revenue And I would like to say increased revenue, and I'm not really in favor of raising taxes across the board. But on the other hand, things like, for instance, the ambulance fee, which I personally opposed several years ago, is doing a good job, and it's working, and it should probably continue. It should be reviewed every year to make sure that it's doing what it should. But those are the type of things that I think are the most important for Jefferson County. And I know you have, because I watch you on the TV screen on my computer all the time. You have a lot of different people that come in with different concerns. And hopefully as many of those concerns can be addressed, because we all would be representing the entire community and not just a facet of the community. So any more questions?
Can you explain your understanding of the Open Meetings Act?
Well, I support the Open Meetings Act 100%. And as a matter of fact, I was talking to someone yesterday, and I said, how many commissioners in a room constitutes a meeting? And the answer I got was 3, which meant if you and Jennifer went to lunch, that isn't a meeting. Or if you happen to be at a party or a get together and you wouldn't be sitting at the same table, it's okay. But I don't think that anything that the county does should be held in reserve. Everything, as much as possible, should be transparent. And I'm 100% for openness. I'm not aware of any underhanded or backdealing type stuff on the county commission, or for instance on the planning commission, because they've been operating, at least as far as I know, open records in a transparent and above board way, and I want to do that. I'm a retired United States Naval captain, and all the years that I was in the Navy, which was approximately 25 years, I was never accused of doing anything that wasn't above board and in full conformance with the Code of Military Justice. Additionally, I worked 33 years for Martin Marietta, Ford Aerospace, which later became part of Martin Marietta, and Lockheed Martin, which all of those became Lockheed Martin. So it was but I had positions of very, very high importance on that. For instance, I was engineering change manager for 2 of Martin Marietta, Lockheed, pardon?
Excuse me, I just wanted to let the board know you have about 5 minutes left.
Okay.
And I know there are 2 commissioners that still have questions.
Okay, well, I'll wrap it up. But during those years, none of the programs I worked on and any of the offices that I held was accused of doing anything wrong. In fact, it was generally considered to be very efficient and saving the taxpayer as much money as possible. So I'm sorry. Sometimes these questions aren't yes and no.
That's true. That's true. I have a question. Until I took this job, I had no idea how much time this position actually takes. Do you think that you have the time to spare?
It's funny that you should bring that up. Incidentally, we have not talked. I have in front of me is a list of all the groups that you support. It's not just a 2 or 3 meetings a month job. Serving on the planning commission, I have 100% attendance, although I have been late to 2 meetings. And while I was on the planning historic landmarks commission, I missed one meeting because of connectivity issues. I was in Colorado with one of my properties out there, and I could not get on the internet. I own 2 properties in Colorado. I'm selling one of them, and hopefully that deal, incidentally, I'm selling it to a retired priest. So that will be a holy condo instead of just a regular condo. But yeah, and I've also printed out the duties and responsibilities of the county commissioners. I am very much aware of what you all do. It's not a trivial position. If we had lots of money, you all should be paid twice what you're getting, at least. But I have no trouble making meetings. I'm fully retired. I go to a lot of meetings during the month anyway. Adding these, if I picked up ones that are vacated by Claire Ath, that would be wonderful. Although if I'm selected, I wouldn't mind trading the Historic Landmarks Commission position with you for another one, because that's very near and dear to my heart. Tourism is very, very important.
Thank you.
So what do you think you can do better, or how can you contribute for this body to do better or improve?
Well, that's interesting. During my career in Lockheed Martin and in the Navy, I always seem to be doing a lot of things successfully that streamline process, because I consider myself a process engineer. I worked in configuration management, quality assurance, systems engineering, and systems integration. And in all of those positions, I did things that that helped streamline the process, made things more efficient, spend less money. Specifically for this group, I think I add a little bit of a fresh approach. You all do a good job, and I'm not here to criticize anything that you all have done in the past, but I ask a lot of questions. I ask different questions, and a lot of that comes from my background in engineering and with the military. Incidentally, no one that ever served under me ever got hurt, was killed or injured in a conflict. And all of the projects that I worked on at Lockheed Martin over the years were all highly successful, and some of them were overhead, satellites, and they were deorbited after their life ended. For instance, the first project I worked on was Skylab, so I'm giving away my age. But worked on Skylab, and of course that was deorbited into the Indian Ocean after it died, because it couldn't maintain its orbit, and difficulties with the space shuttle, which I never worked on. There were setbacks on space shuttle, and they initially were going to do a booster on that, and space shuttle wasn't ready, or it would probably still be flying. But that was a space station where they did a lot of the scientific experiments. And anyway, I think I can provide a fresh approach. I come with a unique background of having been on the Planning Commission, and I know that benefited Steve when he came into office, because all the years he served on that really helped him get on board with the commission. So I hope that answers your question.
We have about probably a minute and a half left.
Only.
Anything else?
Thank you.
All right, we're good. Thank you, Captain. You should have a seat in the back or whatever you like. Appreciate you coming in.
I'm so glad I came early. The lady that called me on the phone said,
Yeah, thank you. We were certainly running early today. I want to thank everybody who applied for this position and who is willing to serve your county. It's certainly we appreciate everybody coming in, and the fact that you want to step up and serve your county it's a great thing. And I just want to thank every one of you in this. I know it's going to be a tough decision. I will now open the floor up for nominations. If anybody wants to nominate one of the 5 interviewers.
I would like to nominate Isabel Simon for the position. Isabel has a pretty good understanding, as do everybody. I'm very pleased with all of the interviews. I really am. Yes, that's all I have to say.
I would like to nominate Matt McKinney.
All right. Anybody else? All right. All in favor for Isabel Simon, please raise your hand. 2. All in favor for Matt McKinney, please raise your hand. 2. So we have a tie. Legal counsel, you want to, I know I read the code. If you want to maybe refresh us. Okay.
Sure. The West Virginia Code 310.7 is the operative statute. And it basically gives the county commission 30 days after the resignation to pick someone. And it says if a quorum of the county commission fails to make an appointment within 30 days, then the county executive committee of the same political party with which the person that resigned, I'm skipping a few words, shall submit a list of 3 legally qualified persons to fill the vacancy. So if you are, I guess if you don't think that between those 2 folks you can work out a compromise, then it would go to the executive committee to give you a list of 3 people would be the next step.
After that step, then what, Nathan?
After that step, then it would be they give you 3 names. The commissioner with the most seniority, which I believe would be Commissioner Tabb, would knock 1 person off that list, and that would leave you with 2. Then it goes down to the person with the next seniority. And, that may create an issue because I believe that Commissioner Stolper and Commissioner Jackson both have equal levels of seniority. So that would still leave us with the possibility, I think, that the 2 of you could agree on one of the persons. And then after that, we would have to go from there. But under the statute as it now exists, I believe that the commission would continue with 4 members until the next election.
Well, and I was wondering if you could give a little explanation, especially for the public, because, this commissioner is from the vacant position is the Charlestown district, but many of our applicants do not reside in that district. So I think the public needs to understand that we can appoint somebody that's not from the vacant
Yeah,
district.
that's right. And that's because the statute is silent as far as the appointing part. And the Attorney General has in the past issued statements on this, but there's no requirement. The only requirement in the statute for appointing someone is that they're from the same party as the person who resigned. Now, for the election,
Yes.
they have to be from the magisterial district. So if you appointed someone who was from the correct magisterial district, it would be maybe to that person's advantage at the next election. I don't know, who knows? But
But it's not a requirement.
it's not a legal
of the
requirement.
appointment process. Okay, yeah. I just want the public to understand that because I've been getting questions and.
Yeah, no, and it's a good question. And that's, like I said, been the subject of inquiries to the Attorney General. But
Thank you.
What's the time frame if it goes to the executive committee? What's the time frame when they need to turn around 3 things?
yeah, I think they give, well, it just says that they submit a list of 3 legally qualified persons. And within 15 days from the date on which the list is received, the county commission shall appoint a candidate from the list to fill the vacancy.
That's it.
A
Okay.
concern that I have would be there are 2 interested people on the executive committee. That is something that, in the interest of fairness, I assume they would recuse themselves from that vote.
I guess it's up to the committee. that it'll be up to the executive committee on addressing that. Not us, right?
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it would be
I just didn't
your
know you
concern.
had-
I think it would be the concern of the executive committee and also the people involved. You know, that's maybe an ethics question, but that would kind of be beyond the scope of what I think I could resolve.
Okay, thank you. I just didn't know if you had any information on that. Okay.
All right. And just to be completely transparent, as most of you know, I am on the Republican Executive Committee. Before I participate in the exercise at the Jefferson County Republican Executive Committee, I will get an ethics opinion. I will try to email the Ethics Board in Charleston today to get an opinion as to whether I can participate in that exercise or not. So.
And, you know, the part of the problem is, until this moment, we didn't know if we had a problem. And so it made it kind of impossible to get any opinions or anything until right now.
All right, so we have essentially we have a tie. It'll go to the exec committee to give through name to this commission, to this body. Is there any other business that needs to come for the commission today?
So is there no more discussion about this today? We leave it here, or do we want to discuss this further?
I mean, unless you want to change your vote or something like that. I don't know.
Well, do you? Neither do I.
All right. If there's no other business to take up for today, if there are no objections, we're adjourned. Thank you.